Welcome back to the most exciting show on YouTube. This is JD's Top 8. I'm your host, JD. Today's Top 8 is movies um, that I'm rounding off this week with movies that I watched as a kid into my teens. Movies that I just kept watching. Had him on VHS and I just wear that sucker out. Uh, didn't have cable, so um just a because it's not on here, just a kind of honorable mention because I was talking about the VHS. uh Matrix. When the Matrix came out, it was on HBO. We actually had cable, so I took a my VCR and a blank tape and I recorded it and I watched the crap out of it. Yes, I just committed or admitted to committing a crime. So let's jump in this eight. Let's jump in this eight. Let's jump in this top eight. Number 8 is The Sandlot. Awesome movie about a group of misfit kids who are all friends about their summer adventure. They get together. They form a team. They play another group of kids over a baseball field. They One of the other antagonists is a dog, Cujo-like dog, who in the end just wanted to play. Like, but it was so cool. Like when they lost the ball and they're trying to get it. Like it was intense for me as a child. I'm like, great, this big giant dog, and have fear of dogs. When I was in first grade, I was in my backyard. Uh, the neighbor's dog was out. It had jumped the little fence and mauled my leg. Um, I can still feel the indents in my leg. So yeah, I have a little fear of dogs. And then the end of this movie, they jump forward and let you know what happened with everybody growing up. And just, oh man, there's so many catchphrases. There's catchphrases taken from that movie that are still today. Like I still see people wearing T-shirts and stuff. Yeah, number 7 is Toy Story. When that came out, I watched the crap out of it. Um, the song got to me. The movie itself got to me. I just watched Toy Story 4 and cried. So, I mean, I wanted the toys. I did get the toys when they came out for Burger King because my mom worked at Burger King. So, whatever toys Burger King had, I had. Um, Number 6 is Home Alone. After watching that, I always wanted to be by myself. I always wanted just one day Home Alone. Oh, he did so much stuff, adult stuff that I don't know if most kids today, being privileged, could do. um, and now looking at it as an adult, as a kid, I loved the traps. But now looking at it as an adult, he could have killed somebody. That's insane. But yeah, it's a very innovative child, and I was like, oh, I could do this. And he was afraid of spiders. I was afraid of spiders. Um, Number 5 is Jurassic Park. This is one of the first movies I went to the movie theater and watched. I sat in the front row with my sister and cousin, like the front row. So my head's like this the whole time, and I was just doing this. The Raptor, when it jumps up into the ceiling, I jumped like 50 feet in the air. And then I got the DVD. I got the VHS, and I just kept watching it. Like I could. It's one of those movies I can still watch. Um, 4 is Scream. Scream was fantastic. It changed the horror genre. It really picked up the slasher genre, the slasher suspense genre. It was fantastic. Um, I've watched it a million times since it's come out. The final girl being that strong at the end of the movie is nuts. Nev Campbell did a great job. Um, Watching Dewey be a doofus. um, as because of that, this movie that was okay with David Arquette being WCW champion, which sounds stupid coming out of my mouth now. Watching Friends, I really. She was supposed to be an evil reporter. Like, well, it was kind of hard hating on her since her character in Friends is a complete opposite. And then finding out they fell in love um, during the movie, it was just great. At the end, when Billy is stabbing his buddy, that iconic line will never fade, man. I'm getting a little woozy here, man. And then he throws the phone at him. Oh man, this is good stuff. Uh, 3 is Terminator 2. It it's got to be one of the best sequels ever made. Period. Uh, Apart from The Godfather 2. I mean, we can get into this. It was great. The Terminator was reprogrammed. Was sent back to protect John Connor. Uh, John Connor was played fantastic. Of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger played a fantastic Terminator who couldn't kill. uh, Sarah Connor, it's got to be one of my favorite female leads, female protagonists. Like, it's fantastic. One of my favorite. Period. Like, to watch her be told she's nuts and she just keeps working. She's like, "Whoa, I'll work out," and then the whole breakout scene in the loony bin was fantastic. Uh, Number 2 is Power Rangers the movie. My father got me this movie when I was sick. I was ill. I was ill. I had a fever. Couldn't do anything. So he picked this movie up for me, and I wore it out. I am a huge Power Rangers fan. If you haven't caught on by now, it. I loved it. Tommy is my favorite Ranger of all time. Um, Looking at now, the movie is so because of the CGI fights and ooze. It's kind of horrible compared to Rita's brother, who they showed in the show instead of doing Ivan Ooze. But I loved it as a kid. I absolutely loved it as a kid. And then number 1 is The Crow. Hold on. No. No.
Didn't realize you were down here. I thought everybody was sleeping.
It's what, 11? I'm not sleeping.
Just everybody's so quiet. Everybody's sleeping. See, now your phone's going off. See?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, stop. That was good right timing. See? I'll leave you on air.
Alright, man. It was fantastic. I still view this as one of the greatest love stories of all time. I know you're like, what? That's so dark. It was an adaptation of a comic book. Eric Raven and his fiancee Shelley were supposed to be married on Halloween. All Hallows Eve, or Devil's Night, there we go. The 30th. They were brutally killed, and she was raped, and he was thrown out the window. And then a year later, they believe that some religions, Indian tribes, believe that crows carry your soul across to the from the land of the living to the land of the dead. And his soul was so burdened that the crow put his soul back in its body, and it became a vengeful spirit. The kills on here are fantastic. I love this. I still love this movie. Brandon Lee, God rest his soul, was fantastic. They've tried it. They've done sequels. I've watched the sequels just because it's The Crow. But they've tried to reboot this movie for years now, and they couldn't do it. They still can't do it. closest guy was Jason Momoa. That would have been fantastic. Whoever dropped the ball on that one needs to be punched right in the nose. um, but yeah, he comes back and he takes his vengeance. Then he thinks he kills the last of the T-Birds. And he thinks he's free. Like he has a moment of peace. He's sitting next to Shelly's grave, and then the bad guy kidnaps the girl who rides her skateboard everywhere. So then he's got one more fight, and they figure out the crow carries his powers, so they shoot the crow. He loses his powers, but his during halfway through the movie, he talks to the detective that stayed next to Shelly's bedside the whole time, and he gets his memories. And then at the end, that memory ends up saving him. Like he shoots it in the bad guy's head. I know that sounds, and it ends up saving him. So yes, that wraps up this week for my childhood. Next week is going to be one of my favorite weeks. I get to talk about food all week. With that being said, much love, JD. Out.